During the Great Depression, every household learned to make do with what was at hand. Resources were scarce, electricity was unreliable in rural areas, and outdoor work or evening chores required light after dark. In response, people devised a simple yet ingenious solution: the tin torch. Made from common materials like tin cans, cloth and fat or oil, these torches provided portable light, warmth and even a degree of protection against the elements. Nearly a century later, the Depression-era tin torch still works, and its lessons in resourcefulness, practical firecraft and low-tech problem-solving are as relevant for backyard enthusiasts, campers and survivalists today as they were in 1930s America. Why portable light was critical during the Depression. In rural homes and isolated farms, electricity was often non-existent, and kerosene lamps were costly and sometimes unavailable. Children needed light to study, families needed to cook or sew after sunset, and workers relied on light to tend animals or repair tools. Travelling at night was risky without proper illumination, particularly in rugged terrain or muddy roads. The tin torch offered a simple, effective solution that could be constructed quickly, carried easily, and used safely in a variety of outdoor conditions. It was not just about illumination, it was about maintaining daily life in difficult times. How the Depression-era tin torch was constructed to maximize effectiveness. Construction was straightforward but cleverly designed. A small tin can, often a coffee or food tin, was filled with fat, oil or tallow, which acted as the fuel source. A strip of cloth served as the wick, threaded through a small hole or loop at the top of the can, with one end submerged in the fuel. Once lit, the cloth drew fuel upward, creating a steady, controlled flame. Some households added a thin layer of sand or small stones at the bottom to stabilize the can and prevent tipping. The torch could be held by the rim, rested on a surface, or mounted on a stake to provide light over a wider area. Its design maximized both fuel efficiency and portability. Why this torch worked so reliably in challenging conditions. The tin torch's effectiveness came from its simplicity and adaptability. Unlike open fires, it could be carried safely without risk of spreading flames. Unlike candles, it burned longer, produced more light, and could withstand moderate wind when shielded by the tin. The fat or oil fuel burned consistently, even in damp conditions, and the cloth wick regulated the flame. Users quickly learned to adjust the length of the wick, or the type of fat, to control burn time and brightness. This reliability made the torch indispensable for evening work, emergency lighting, and even signalling in rural landscapes. How people used the tin torch in daily life and emergencies. Families carried these torches on trips to distant barns or outhouses, used them to illuminate pathways, and relied on them for nighttime chores. In emergencies, the torch could provide heat for small tasks, like softening wax, lighting fires, or igniting stoves. Farmers and hunters sometimes placed torches along fences or trails to illuminate the area for livestock or to mark paths in the dark. The torch's portability meant that it could be moved quickly, making it both a practical tool and a safety device, particularly in areas where wildlife or uneven terrain posed risks at night. Now, let's talk about how modern enthusiasts can recreate and use the tin torch safely. For backyard survivalists, campers or hobbyists, the tin torch offers a low-tech, hands-on way to explore historical firecraft. You'll want to start with a small, clean metal can, a natural fat, such as lard or wax, and a strip of cloth for the wick. Just fill the can partially with the fuel, thread the wick through a hole or notch at the top, and light carefully. Always place the torch on a non-flammable surface or hold it using heat-resistant gloves. It can be used to illuminate a campsite, signal in emergencies, or as a portable heat source in controlled situations. And, experimenting with different fuels or wick sizes allows you to adjust burn time and intensity, much like Depression-era households did. Why does this Depression-era solution remain relevant today? Well, the tin torch demonstrates the value of ingenuity, efficiency, and adaptability. In a world dominated by batteries, LEDs, and high-tech camping gear, it reminds us that low-tech solutions can still provide reliable light and heat without electricity. Understanding the mechanics of the torch, capillary action of the wick, controlled fuel burn, and wind protection also teaches important principles of firecraft and energy use. For survivalists or backyard enthusiasts, it's a practical, hands-on lesson in resourcefulness that requires minimal materials yet delivers tangible results. So, what can we learn from the resilience of Depression-era households? The tin torch really embodies a mindset of adaptability under scarcity. Families and workers optimized what was available, experimented with fuel types, and created versatile tools that solve multiple problems simultaneously. By studying and applying these methods today, we gain both historical perspective and practical skills for outdoor survival or low-resource situations. Making and using a tin torch encourages problem-solving, careful observation, and respect for simple, effective design. If this look into the Depression-era tin torch inspired you and offered practical insights for the backyard or wilderness, subscribe to the channel. Share this video with fellow history buffs, survivalists, and DIY enthusiasts so that these time-tested low-tech solutions continue to educate and empower anyone seeking reliable historical approaches to light and fire.